A Muslim cleric has sparked a massive national debate by calling upon fellow religionists, co-religionists, to abjure the consumption of beef or even the qurbani or sacrifice of cows on Bakra Eid tomorrow. The cleric has issued the diktat in the interest of promoting what he sees is brotherhood and stalling barbarism. He says that the time has come to move beyond ritual sacrifices. The diktat has irked a large number of Muslim groups who are accusing the cleric of succumbing to pressure exerted by certain Hindu majoritarian groups, including the RSS, to proscribe Muslim tradition, Muslim rights and belief. The debate is stacked. First, let's pay a little bit of attention to what this Maulana Rais Khan has to say. Let's first listen in, and then we'll go into the facts of how they stack up on either side.
बकरा ईद के ताल्लुक़ से मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि ये एक ईद खुशी का दिन है और खुशी के दिन को तरीके से मनाना चाहिए। कोई भी त्यौहार हो, उस त्यौहार के अंदर ऐसा कोई काम नहीं होना चाहिए जो दूसरे के लिए मुसीबत बने, उसके लिए तकलीफ़ का ज़रिया बने। तो इस वजह से बकरा ईद के दिन कुर्बानी की जाती है। कुर्बानी भी तरीके से होनी चाहिए, उसके अंदर कोई गंदगी ना हो, कोई ऐसा काम ना हो जिसकी वजह से किसी हिंदुस्तान में रहने वाले दूसरे भाइयों को तकलीफ़ पहुंचे। और एक जो सबसे बड़ा एक मुद्दा बना हुआ है गाय की कुर्बानी का, तो उसके लिए मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि मुसलमान उससे बिल्कुल तौर पर बचें, क्योंकि इस्लाम ही के अंदर बताया गया है कि गाय के दूध के अंदर तो शिफा है लेकिन उसके गोश्त के अंदर बीमारी है। तो इस वजह से जब इस्लाम भी इस बात का पैगाम देता है और सबक देता है कि गाय के गोश्त में बीमारी है, तो बिल्कुल तौर पर बचना चाहिए कि गाय की कुर्बानी हरगिज़ ना करें, और कुर्बानी करें तो इस बात का भी ख्याल रखें कि सफाई सुथराई बेइंतहा होनी चाहिए और कहीं पर गंदगी ना हो और किसी चीज़ को ऐसी जगह ना फेंकें कि दूसरे भाइयों को तकलीफ हो। जी नहीं होनी चाहिए। अगर हमारी हुकूमत और सरकार इस बात को कहती है कि नहीं होनी चाहिए तो नहीं होनी चाहिए।
तो सरकार का जो बीजेपी सरकार का फैसला है गाय कुर्बानी बंद करने का, वो बंद करने का, हमारी
तरफ से बहुत अच्छा है। गाय की कुर्बानी बंद हो जाए, क्योंकि हमारे पास तो उसका बदल मौजूद है। क्योंकि कुर्बानी ऐसा नहीं है गाय की कुर्बानी फ़र्ज है, कुर्बानी फ़र्ज है, वो बकरे की भी हो सकती है, बकरी की भी हो सकती है, भेड़े की भी हो सकती है। तो हमारे पास उसका बदल मौजूद है, तो उसकी कुर्बानी हम लोग करेंगे और उसके लिए सरकार हमको रोकती भी नहीं है। तो हम मुसलमानों से भी ये अपील करते हैं कि जब सरकार हमें किसी चीज़ से मना कर रही है तो उससे बाज आ जाए, उससे रुक जाए, उसमें हमारा भी फ़ायदा है।
Okay, that cleric not just talking about cow kurbani, saying that kurbani as such should be abjured, especially when the government of the day would like you to abjure. It's an interesting conundrum for the Muslim community because the arguments stack up on both sides. Let's look at the hard facts. Let's pull out that graphic that we have prepared, which gives you a sense of how different stakeholders are viewing this. Those that are against the sacrifice say the court order banning cow slaughter should be followed. Those that are for sacrifice say don't support any kind of butchery, close all meat shops. This is what is being said. Against sacrifice, hurting sentiments of Hindu by offering cow sacrifice. That's the problem with all of this. And for sacrifice, it's a religious issue. For Muslims, respect the sanctity of belief, of tradition. That's what's being said. Against sacrifice, Islam doesn't sanction hurting sentiments of others. And for sacrifice, it's not a celebration which can be altered as per Islam. So it's a custom that is woven very much into the faith and tradition. Let's now go to some big breaking news that is coming in. As we set up this debate, some big breaking news coming in. I'm getting information that a Bangalore-based animal rights activist has come out and made a sensational claim saying that cows have been brought illegally for slaughter into the city of Bengaluru. I'm also being told that Times Now has accessed footage of cows near a slaughterhouse in Bengaluru in a section of the town. And Times Now, however, cannot verify the activist claims on cows for slaughter. So while you're watching these pictures on your screens, we can't ascertain whether these cows will be slaughtered tomorrow or whether they are milch cows that will be spared and only be used for dairy. We can't, but we are being told by certain activists that these cows that you see on your screens have been brought for slaughter. Let's listen in to the activists.
Yeah, definitely there were cows, there were calves in these containers, and it's not legal. It's illegal to slaughter cows, calves. In fact, in Karnataka, only bulls above the age of 12 can be slaughtered. But now if you visit Shivajinagar area, you can see thousands of cattle. Close to 3,000 will be standing even now at current situation in and around Shivajinagar. So that time it was 500. Now since the festival is on 2nd, there are close to 3,000 just in that area. So there will be calves, there are cows, there are bulls, underage bulls, which are ready to get sacrificed. And the Sacrifice Act itself says of Karnataka it prohibits, the sacrifice itself is prohibited.
Well, the activist is now with us. To elaborate on all of this, Joshain is with us. Go ahead, ma'am. What can you tell us? These pictures that you seem to be bringing to us can't be independently verified, of course, but they seem to suggest that there are a number of cows lined up outside what appears to be an abattoir, a slaughterhouse. How can you say that they're going to be slaughtered tomorrow on Eid?
Sir, this has been happening every year, and we have brought it to the notice of the High Court also, that how the cattle are slaughtered openly in front of streets, in front of educational institutions, hospitals, everywhere. Tomorrow it's going to be the entire, certain parts of the city is going to be just full of blood and all the waste, intestinal waste of all the cattle. And this we have already submitted many times in the High Court. We have brought it to the notice of the High Court and all the officials. But every year, from the past 4 years, we have been doing this and no action. And this time specifically, we have gone in front of the lower court asking for a direction.
Okay, let's stay on with me, Joshain. I also have with us Anand Narasimhan to talk us over some of these pictures which have been independently sourced also. So let me go straight across to Anand. Anand is also Deepak Bonappa, who's with us from Bengaluru. But before that, Anand, over to you.
Well, Rahul, there are visuals that have come from multiple abattoirs, multiple places across the city of Bangalore, and where you see a lot of cattle bunched up together. I'll just play this out as this plays out because they are continuing. It's a continuing part of the investigation. I'm just putting the raw tape that we've just accessed, and there you go. Now, what they do is, at all places, you see a lot of cattle bunched up. Some of them are marked. Some of them are not marked. There are also calves in presence, and there are also certain cows. Now, we do not know, we cannot independently verify whether they are milching cows or not, but they are there. The fact is that they're all packed inside, and this is not just at one abattoir, at multiple abattoirs, and there is also this entire aspect of them being taken in containers which are illegal. I'll play that out because it's in a different loop. We'll play that out that where they are also in illegal containers. That's what's alarming, because if this is going to happen, the fear is, Rahul, that they are going to be culled illegally. A lot of them will be illegally culled tomorrow.
Okay, all of this, of course, needs to be verified. We don't know, because milch cattle cannot really be sacrificed. And let's not forget, Anand, that milch cattle cannot be sacrificed because the law prohibits the slaughter of milch cattle. Let's not ignore that point. So before we actually get ahead of ourselves, let's inject those caveats.
Yes, and this is another visual where they have been able to capture cattle being taken in illegal containers, and these containers have got no ventilation. They are not, and because it is this is just feed that's just come. Now this is the container they're talking about. There are cattle inside these containers. They've got no ventilation, no air outlet. They're being absolutely shut down, and they're being carried and ferried in containers like this. Multiple different species of cattle which have been actually bunched together in these containers. This is another aspect which the activists have raised, saying there is large-scale illegal trafficking, transport of cattle which is going on, which is also illegal, which is also not permissible as per the law.
This is obviously alarming, but once again unverified, because some of this is of course sourced from our own camera teams. Others, of course, other bits of footage that we can see on our screens, Anand, have been sourced from animal rights groups who have been filming this over some days and have approached the court. Now, we are hoping for an intervention from the court. More details, of course, will come in as we move ahead on this story. But I want to go across to Deepak. Stay on with me, Anand. Deepak, what can you tell us? Okay, we're just going to try and connect with Deepak in just a few moments. But I want to go back to Joshain, the animal rights activist. Now, Joshain, how long before have these cows been brought in, and how can you expressly, without, of course, referring to the past, suggest that this is livestock being brought in for slaughter?
So these cattle were not there like 2 weeks back.
So they were not there 2 weeks ago. They've been brought in expressly for this purpose. Yeah. Okay, that's your, so you don't have any definitive proof. You are making an assumption here. Assumption.
So we have got the like I told you, every year from the past 4 years we have been approaching the officials.
I understand, but it's an educated guess. So, it's an assumption because you are correlating it with the timing. You can't for sure suggest that these are all going to be slaughtered.
Let me tell you, sir, none of these cattle, the reporter was saying some of them are marked. Okay. They are marked by the butchers. Like even right now, when we went to the Doddi area with the court commissioner, the butchers agreed that they are marked for their identification. It's not a government marking. Okay. And none of them has got a veterinary certificate or a
some of those you can see have been branded or marked, as you're saying. So I just want to bring in Deepak. Deepak, who's been independently verifying all of this. Deepak, what can you tell us?
Well, at this point, we should understand that while the activists have been claiming for the last couple of weeks that cattle have been brought in, and how they've been brought in, they claim that illegal transportation, as Anand was mentioning, bringing in containers which do not have air vents and several other ways which violate several laws. This is what the animal rights activists claim. Yesterday, one of our cameras did manage to get inside. Now, they did spot several cows in the bunch of several other cattle that were there. But were these meant for slaughter? Well, that's something that needs to be verified. But at this point in time, we should understand, while the animal rights activists have been mounting pressure on the police, they say that the police have not been taking action. On the 30th of August, that's when the Additional Metropolitan Court, in fact, ordered the police to investigate. And also, while the investigation goes on, they've also said if they do find cattle that have been illegally transported or meant for slaughter, which is not supposed to be slaughtered, they should rescue these cattle. Apart from that, today as well, there's a High Court order which specifies the same, which is directing the police commissioner to look into this issue. So at this point in time, it's up to the investigating bodies to really verify how these cattle have been brought into Bengaluru, and whether when you're talking about cattle below the age of 12 or even cows that are being brought in, whether they're meant for slaughter and whether they will be rescuing any is something that we'll have to wait and watch in the next couple of days.
Okay, stay on with me. I just want to open this out. Joining us this evening is Dr. T.A. Rahmani, President of the Muslim Council of India, Majid Haidari, a political activist and analyst and journalist, Suneet Chopra, leader of the CPM, Geeta Bhatt, also with us, fellow of the Indian Policy Foundation, and Major General G.D. Bakshi, defense analyst, and R.S.N. Singh, author and strategic affairs expert. I want to first begin with Geeta Bhatt. Geeta Bhatt, the most obvious response from Muslim groups is that this is part of a majoritarian Hindutva campaign to restrict the beliefs and customs of the Muslim community in this country, because there are animal sacrifices that are also conducted amongst various Hindus.
Yeah, Rahul, I would like to first start that in Quran itself says that the animals, birds, plants, they all are creations of God, and hence we should be very kind to them. As far as there are many Islamic scholars, who have quoted that Prophet Muhammad himself really used to have meat, and he used to prefer having honey and rather water, vinegar and dates.
Okay.
I would also like to quote here that the third Caliph, Umar Khattab, he said that one should avoid eating meat because eating meat is like the addiction of alcohol, so one should avoid it. So there are many such examples.
You don't preach Islam over here, please.
Themselves,
will you please answer what Rahul has actually asked you?
I'm not trying to preach. Can you? What I am saying? Whatever I'm saying, is it untrue?
Please don't escape that question.
Is it untrue what I'm saying? And let me please complete my point. And
I'm here to represent Islam.
My point.
I'm enough to represent Islam here.
Animal sacrifices in Hindus is concerned, I would like to quote here that yes, there used to be such sacrifices which used to take place in Uttarakhand. There were many such temples where such sacrifices, but after a High Court intervention, the government has banned. There are no more bans. All the bans have become illegal. And however, in fact, this is a festival which talks about sacrifice. So can't we think about sacrificing of our bad habits and bad thoughts rather than sacrificing animals?
Okay, Mr. Rahmani, you've got the gist really of what the response is. Now I want to ask you, sir.
This is a spiritual issue. Don't you dare to say so.
One second, Mr. Hydari, just calm down. I'll come to you. Don't be an insurgent in the debate, please.
No, my blood is boiling, Rahul. This pertains to sentiment of my religion, my faith, my belief.
Sir, this
madam is nobody to malign our religion.
Sir, there are also
people. This is our right. We'll do what we decide.
Sir, I can understand that your blood is boiling, but then,
no
sir,
one is maligning the religion. Doesn't Quran say that animals and plants are creations of God and we should protect them?
Let's not communalize this, please. This is about
please deny it. Deny it if it is wrong.
On holy, you mind it. No, Rahul, understand one thing.
Can you deny
asking Muslims
Can you deny it that Quran says
Bakra Eid is
that
like
animals and plants, they are
refrain from playing colors on Holi?
I am not asking, sir. It's a Muslim cleric who's asking. Should I play it out? Let's play out that soundbite. It's a Muslim cleric. It's a Muslim cleric. And 1 minute, sir, please. Allow me, sir, to state the facts here. This is not some Hindu.
Even if we are killed for that, we are hanged for
this is not some Hindu who is left out of the woodwork and making this claim. It is a Muslim cleric, easily identified Muslim cleric who is telling you to abjure this in the interest of brotherhood, so that you don't hurt Hindu sentiments.
It is for the Islamic scholars to decide
whether he continues to be a Muslim or he should be declared a non-Muslim.
The appeal is coming from members of your own community. They're not coming from aliens.
Islam. His statement is blasphemous.
Blasphemous. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. But there is still a statement.
He is not a mufti. He is
General Bakshi wants to come in. General Bakshi, sir. Go ahead. General Bakshi.
Who can issue fatwa?
Okay,
can I kindly request for some calm?
Yeah, okay. Hydari Saab, 1 minute. Let's be orderly, please. I would really appeal to you today. Let's not cross talk. It's a sensitive issue.
Sir, our blood is boiling.
Can I please?
I understand, sir, your blood is boiling.
Our religion, they have been going blasphemous. Our blood is boiling.
Okay, but you must take action then against some of your own co-religionists. Don't make this about a Hindu issue. It's Muslim clerics, sir. It is Muslim. Rais Khan, UP in charge of Muslim Rashtriya Manch, who has come out and said animal sacrifice not necessary, animal sacrifice not a ritual, can be done symbolically.
You are nobody
sacrifice
to say it is our right
cake.
Whether whatever animal we slaughter as per in accordance with the principles of Islam.
1 minute.
One second. Can I please come in?
Says that cow slaughter has beef ban is not pan-India. How can you say so?
Hydari Saab, will you speak now for 2.5 hours? Can you allow others to speak? They are also making time to come to this debate. Please, I request you.
Kindly, sir, kindly.
Yeah, General Bakshi.
Kindly, sir.
You know, Rahul, just before coming to this program, I was on a seminar on Wahhabism and, radicalization. And we had some very good statements made by Shri Sultan Shaheen, founding editor of New Age Islam. And he said it is now time for Islam to come to terms with what kind of a relationship do you want to have with other faiths, with other religions, with other people. Do you want to be forever locked into a conflictual mode of the 7th century? Do you want to go back to a time warp in the 7th century? Do you want to try and adopt a practice or the concept of Darul Harb, or do you want to coexist? Now, if we want to coexist, there'll have to be rational, sane voices coming from within your community. And these voices are coming. So when these voices come, I think we should listen to them with respect. We can debate, we can discuss, but I think the time has come to look deep within.
Okay.
Do you want to offend?
Rahmani
Do you
sir,
want to have the right to offend? Your blood is boiling. Lots of people blood will start boiling tomorrow.
Okay, Rahmani sir.
If you kill cows.
Let's get Rahmani Saab into this. I think General Bakshi has put it very rationally.
This is our right. Do we ever say, why do people eat pigs? Why do people drink alcohol? Do Muslims ever fight on that point? Why do you interfere with our religion?
No, some Muslims do, sir. Some Muslims.
Majid Hydri, this is my turn. Kindly let me speak.
Hydri Saab,
fight on that?
Hydri Saab, Rahmani,
will you wait for a while?
Dr. Rahmani is requesting you.
You are intruding onto our religion.
Okay, Hydri Saab, Dr. Rahmani
is pushing the Muslims of India.
You are being requested by Dr. Rahmani to give him 30 seconds to speak. Please. Dr. Rahmani, go ahead.
No, he is a Muslim from a minority state.
Rahul, I want to say
I am a Muslim from a majority state.
There is a law. There is a constitution. There is a constitution in the country, and we are law-abiding citizens. Nowhere in the country where cow slaughter is banned is never sacrificed any cow and will never be. This is for sure, and I am against. You have shown a picture of Bengaluru city. If it is true that those cows has been bought for the purpose of sacrification, yes, tomorrow, then it is quite illegal. The police must take action, and the guilty must be booked and sent to the jail. This is quite clear. The cow slaughter in 25 states in India is banned, and there must not be any cow slaughter. But that doesn't mean that the sacrifice of other animals is not allowed. This is quite foolish and unscientific an argument that things like cake should be slaughtered in streets.
Okay, but can I ask you, sir?
Millions of animals are being slaughtered every day in the country and the whole world. And if you stop this kind of slaughtering and consuming meal, it disturbs the equilibrium of our environment. This is a known fact. The scientific people do understand. Number two.
Okay, but can I ask you, sir? Does belief sanction barbarism? Some people, some animal rights activists believe
in a place.
No, 1 second, sir. Some animal rights activists, and we have had animal rights activists coming in and saying that even a tradition which goes back several years, like Jallikattu, should be actually stalled and stopped. And there are many people who have come out and spoken against it. So I'm asking you, sir, in the name of belief, does Islam, sir, sanction this sort of barbarism?
Leave the religious affairs for its religious scholars. Let's not debate every part of religion.
You tell me.
Be it Hindu religion,
Rahul,
or
I want to ask
be it Sikhism, be it Christianity.
I want to ask you. No, I am not comparing Islam and Hindu and Christianity, etc.
Okay.
I want to talk very scientifically. Are you against the slaughter of animals at all? Do you want it? That there must not be slaughtering at all? There must not be any non-vegetarian community living in the country? Don't you know that billions of our citizens and bulk of our citizens do consume meat?
Okay.
Of any animal.
Let's get a response. Colonel Arison,
chicken or whatever.
Are you against the slaughter or the consumption of any meat?
Do you want to convert the whole country into a vegetarian country?
Okay.
Is that possible?
Is this part of an agenda that is being pushed by majoritarian Hindus to convert this entire country into a vegetarian state, sir? Colonel Arison?
Yes, it is exactly so.
No, I must, say.
Okay, we're having problems with Colonel Arison's line. I think we picked up the wrong audio channel. I think we're having a problem there.
Audible?
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Am I audible?
Go ahead. We can hear you now.
Yeah. What I was saying is that you have called me in the capacity of a security expert, and I must put the people wise on certain issues, which relates to, security of this country. And one is that in 1857, you would recall that the main mobilizing factor was, this issue of, that greased cartridges, where, you know, it was insinuated or it was a reality that, you know, cow fat was used and, you know, pig fat was, used to make those cottages. That was one reason, you know, that, you know, because, and you would see that the entire 1857 was in this cow belt. Because the Muslims did not eat cow, the Hindus did not eat pig, and that is the discourse is, you know, the same discourse is there till today. Now the point I must tell you, Mr. Rahmani, I tell you, Mr. Vajpayee, when he became Prime Minister, he sent, I think, one Mr. Dharamvira or somebody to do a research on this issue,
okay,
of this, you know, on the issue of, you know, cows. I'm sorry, beef eating, and he carried out an extensive research, went to the, you know, laboratory.
What was the point of the research?
And he said he said that the Muslims in India never ate cow.
Okay.
They never ate beef.
Okay.
This was introduced when the British came here, and do you know, Rahmani Saab, the British could not find a single Muslim, you know, who was prepared to slaughter a cow.
RSN saying India has been
some
the
of them were
largest
given
supporter
other
of
incentives.
beef. Whom are you befooling?
So
Just check the latest
I always
statistics.
keep on saying, that I always keep on maintaining
Who are you befooling?
that the whole Mughal dynasty has kept the beef.
This is absolute nonsense and false.
Okay, Mughal dynasty has been today. And today,
when you change your religion,
is not an issue.
Your forefathers, when they changed their religion, did they? From the second day, they changed their religion.
Don't you dare to speak so.
Whatever they did, I do abide by them. I abide by them. You don't need to go to. You don't need to go to.
Okay, gentlemen, 1 minute. We're on the question of Eid tonight. 1 minute. On the eve of the festival of Eid, breaking news coming in. On the eve of the festival of Eid, there has been a terror attack. 1 minute. Gentlemen, blood is flowing. Whether we like it or not, this time it's human blood that is flowing on the eve of Eid. It seems that Eid has been used to spark a bloodbath. You have big breaking news coming in. Police bus attacked on the outskirts of Srinagar. Fareed is with us. Fareed, tell us what's happening there. Blood on the streets on the eve of Eid. Does even Eid have no sanctity? Okay, we've lost that phone line, but we are being told that 6 policemen have been ambushed near Zevan. Eid for bloodbath, it seems, is now on the minds. Those are the pictures. There you can see those pictures of a number of police officers, obviously Kashmiri police officers, who have been attacked and ambushed. And you can always count really on these paid agents to come out really and do this. They will not even spare the festival of Eid to push their paymasters in Pakistan's agenda. I'm going to go across to Mir Fareed for details. Mir, what can you tell us?
Yes, Rahul, as we had reported and what Indian input suggested that the militants will try to do something before Eid, and that's exactly what has happened. The reports are coming in from the Zevan area in the outskirts of Srinagar, where a bus of armed police has been targeted, ambushed by militants. A very heavy volume of gunfire opened on the bus. We come to know that at least 7 to 8 policemen have been injured. There are unconfirmed reports of one of them has succumbed. But right now, intermittent gunfire heard from the area. This could very well be police parties reaching the spot and firing in the air to ensure that militants, if at all there are around, they're engaged. But yes, an attack, and right now top officers of the police and other reinforcements rushing to the spot to ensure that this is still sketchy. Details are sketchy. This could very well be an attack where militants could be hiding in the area. This could be a benign attack as well. So we'll wait for further details to come in. But yes, as we had reported about the fact that there are Jaish groups around, lurking around and trying to do something big before Eid, exactly that's something that...
No respect, sir, for Islam. Mir Fareed, no respect for even the festival and the sanctity of Islam, it would appear. Policeman attack near Srinagar. This has happened. We know there was a build-up. We have shown you pictures this morning. Forces have been ambushed near Srinagar. The top band and the lower band is telling you information. And this suggests that there is no respect for Islam. I'm completely shocked, Mir.
Absolutely, Rahul. In fact, tomorrow is the festival of Eid and just on the eve, militant strike. So there is absolutely no case where they respect the festival or they think of the fact that at least for this day, the bloodshed has to be stopped. So they're going ahead and we knew it. In fact, we had reported that this really doesn't bother them. They are here to kill and get killed, and that's what they're doing. Obviously, they have inputs or they are being given clear instructions to strike, do something big, because as we have been saying, they're under the cash, they're under the pump because many commanders have been killed, their ranks are depleting, so they need to do something to show their presence and to lift the morale. So this is something that the intelligences were anticipating, and exactly that's something that has happened. Although the police, army, all the security force formations were alerted about this kind of an attack close to this area, because this is close to the national highway, the stretch which has seen many attacks in the past. But this time around, they've gone further inside just to ensure that they do not get caught or they have easy escape routes. So that seems to be the design or the reason why they have selected this area. But right now, countermeasures are on, and they're trying to pinpoint or track down these militants before they escape. Rahul?
Absolutely. It's absolutely shocking to me. Who sacrifices faith for hate? Stay on with us. I want to ask Majid Haidari. Majid Haidari, who sacrifices faith for hate? This is hate. This is hate. Who sacrifices, sir? This happened. This happened a few weeks ago.
What are your
with Ayub Pandit? With Ayub Pandit, this happened. He was lynched. The same thing. He was lynched during Ramzan.
Today you spoke the truth that all what is happening in Kashmir is not about Islam. You have yourself said today that all what is happening in Kashmir is not about Islam. So don't say Kashmir is facing or undergoing an Islamist movement. This is not an Islamist
Majid Haidari, I am asking you, Pak Dalals have stooped to such lows. They are so desperate. Why don't you come out and condemn this?
You know.
Do you want your co-religionists to be butchered like this? Don't you see the photographs?
We have always been condemning
6 policemen ambushed here from your state.
Also, I do condemn this killing. Why is my condemnation different from others? Do others commit suicide? Condemn that I have not committed suicide.
You condemn. No, you condemn the person who has ordered this. You know who has ordered this killing. You know who's ordered this killing. We brought proof out.
Sir, 140 of our local youth have been killed this year by government forces.
Don't make this about government forces.
Local youth or terrorists?
Our children.
No, local youth or terrorists?
End to this bloodshed.
Please be very clear in your phraseology.
No, we don't call them terrorists. Don't you call them
terrorists? Rahul,
yes.
No, we don't
Rahul, I would like to submit
yes, sir,
that there is the spirit of every festival. Eid is a major festival, and I would think that on such a holy day, at least people would leave killing alone. And they have killed fellow Muslims.
General Bakshi, you are talking of...
They have killed fellow Muslims. Why do you have to choose such a day? That is what I'm asking you.
Eid Eve.
Do you have to choose such a day, one of the holiest festivals, to kill fellow Muslims?
Well, sir.
Do you have to choose such a holy day to kill fellow Muslims?
Last year, there was a massacre in Kashmir on Eid last year.
So, is that the right thing to do?
About that massacre?
Is that the right thing to do?
26 of our youth were killed last year, murdered last year by you and your forces.
When you say youth,
talk about that?
I suppose you don't mean the armed terrorists.
Killing of 40 civilians.
When you say youth, you are implying the armed terrorists.
1 minute.
Mr. Kholta Khoon, let me tell you that Ramadan is increasing.
तो ये इंसान नहीं थे क्या?
Policeman's blood is blood. Even civilians' blood is blood.
Attack in London, 2 attacks in Tehran, 2 attacks in Baghdad, 2 attacks in Kabul, 1 attack in Manila.
So you talk to them.
No, this is part of a... No, 1 minute. Sunit Chopra, let me bring you in. This is not in isolation. There are attacks during Ramadan repeatedly. 1 minute. 1 minute, gentlemen. Let me bring out the facts here. 1 second. Let me bring out the facts, please. Let me bring out the facts. Sunit Chopra, listen to this. Iran parliament attack, 12 killed. When did it happen? During Ramadan. June 7, 2017. Multiple Baghdad blasts, terrorists attack people in a busy market during Ramzan, 33 killed. This is not alien. This is very much part of the culture. You need to respond. Powerful Kabul blast during holy month of Ramzan kills 90.
This is not part of the culture. This is not part of the culture. And you have said two very wrong things.
What about that?
You have mentioned a Muslim cleric. The RSS discussed this issue today in its conclave. Why didn't you
What are you talking about?
Why
What are you talking about, Sunil Chopra?
Why are you hiding
I don't know what papers you read.
The RSS
speaking
discussed
from
this today.
what aspect that you sort of represent here. I don't
In the
understand.
RSS conclave,
Are the RSS shooting here?
Came up.
Are the RSS shooting here?
Condemn the killing of civilians. Why doesn't
For God's sake,
condemn the killing of
You should say who stated it. The RSS suggested this.
No. What do you mean? RSS suggested the shooting?
Who has said this?
What nonsense?
Yes. This business is not slaughtering cattle.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. I think you've lost. I think you've lost your. No. You've lost your perspective completely.
Animals
You have
should
lost
be killed
your
for religious
perspective
purposes,
completely,
and that
sir.
can't be disturbed.
You have lost your perspective
Our
completely.
Constitution has given it as a fundamental
Sir,
right.
Isn't there a law against killing cows
completely?
because it offends the majority community?
Sir, you have lost your.
Why do you have to offend a
You are
community?
confusing the issue, and you're
Why do you want the right to offend?
Why don't you condemn your Indian army?
What do you mean? Indian army is not
For
behind
what?
this?
Your Indian army first.
For what? Condemn the Indian army for what? For doing their duty?
Not my army.
For trying to eliminate the terrorists?
Do you condemn your Pakistani masters for vitiating your Eid?
As a human shield is not my army.
Mr. Khalta Khoon, I will not allow you to go. Do you condemn
40 casualties? Is that your grounds? He saved you 30 to 40 casualties. Is that your grounds? Did you want 40 civilians dead there? Please tell me. No, you please, since you raised the case of Gogai, I want to know from you, did you want 40 civilians to be killed that day? No, please put your hand on your heart. Did you want 40 civilians to be killed that day? He saved 40 lives. He saved 40 lives.
Why didn't you tie that Baba Ram Rahim to a jeep? Why didn't you tie Baba Ram Rahim to a jeep then?
Okay, now that you have raised that issue,
to that jail on a jeep.
Please listen to me. Please listen to me.
Why didn't you do it there
in Haryana? For God's sake, please listen.
Your government wanted to give all honor and respect
I've heard
to
you.
that
Can I
rapist,
reply?
And you are defending a rapist government.
Can I reply? When this Ram Rahim thing took place, 36 civilians were killed that day by the police firing. Have you done that in J&K? Should that not have been done there?
They were supporters of a
36 civilians were killed.
Rapist is an accomplice.
36 civilians were killed.
There is a difference
and we have only used paper guns against you.
There is a difference between a Balatkari and a Krantikari. Those killed in
36 civilians were killed. The Balatkari is in jail for 20 years. The Balatkari is in jail for 20 years. But 36 civilians were killed. You have nothing to say about that? Should we have not used similar force
very dangerous.
Against those
gentlemen, it's very clear that a very warped, very dangerous subculture is emerging. A very dangerous subculture is emerging in Kashmir, which has no sanctity even for the faith. And on a day, the holiest day of the faith, they are ready to go out there and spread hate. And I would respect very much Majid Haidari if you came out and said that the followers of Burhan Wani, all those other individuals who are going out there today and legitimizing this extreme Wahhabi, mentally unstable sort of Islam, come out and condemn this. You come out and condemn Burhan Wani.
Has given birth to 100 more Burhans. So kindly stop killing, sir. I say with a folded hand. Kindly stop killing the Muslims and go for a dialogue.
You allow terror to prosper, right? That's what you've done for 35 years. 35 years. Pandits, Kashmiri Hindus were killed. They didn't come back with Kalashnikovs. Kashmiri Hindus were butchered. They never came back with Kalashnikovs.
10,000 women.
Did Kashmiri Hindus come back with Kalashnikovs? I'm asking you. Majid Haidari, did Kashmiri Hindus come back with Kalashnikovs? Are you trying to justify terrorism? Are you trying to justify terrorism today?
Weapons made by kafirs.
Ridiculous.
You use weapons.
Majid Haidari justifies. Majid Haidari justifies terrorism. Majid Haidari justifies terrorism. Justifies retribution. Did any Kashmiri Hindu return after his families were butchered and exiled from the state with a gun? Answer me. No, I want to bring in. I want to bring in.
Rahul.
I want to also bring in Geeta Bhatt. I want to bring in Geeta Bhatt. Geeta Bhatt, I want to ask you a simple question. Majid Haidari's response is that Burhan Wanis are being created because terrorists are being eliminated, and Burhan Wani was eliminated, so he inspires an intifada. I'm asking you, Kashmiri Hindus, 1 minute, Kashmiri Hindus were butchered. None of them returned with Kalashnikovs to take revenge. They could very well have.
And nothing else.
They should have.
You know, Rahul, I would also like to point out.
It is very unfortunate that on a national television, there are people who are openly criticizing the armed forces.
36 people.
Our army, which is there defending us, they are criticizing them. Those who never talked about when Kashmiri Pandits were genocide of Kashmiri Pandits and an ethnic cleansing of Kashmiri Pandits was taken. Kashmir, where were these people? Why they never raised any voice against that?
Madam, it was your Jagmohan who was the governor
family,
that time.
11 Pandits, they were put in a line and they were killed.
It was a handiwork.
Was it any short of any lynching? Was this short of lynching?
Poor Pandits.
Why no one ever raised any voice against them? Against those killings? And
Madam,
right here, on a day where such an important festival of the Muslim community is taking place, such kind of killings are taking place, and they do not even have the guts to condemn it. They couldn't condemn when the Kashmiri Pandits were being killed, they were being butchered, they were being lynched, and they do not have guts even now to condemn those who are killing people even on the day of such a holy festival of
Kindly check
Muslims.
the facts with government.
There is no excuse for terrorism. Please.
I'd like to remind you.
General Bakshi, can anyone today rationalize terrorism?
Please listen to me.
These men claim to be fighting for Islam, but they strike, they spill blood on the holiest day of Islam, on a festival.
Rahul, I'd just like to remind him that can I please have my say?
Because I am a Muslim
and I am a Kashmiri as well. Can I please have my say? Thank you. You know, I would like to remind you, when the police had to control the Reuters in the Sacha Sauda case, they killed 36 civilians in one day to control those riots. Have you seen those kind of casualties?
No, not civilians.
When the stone belting was being done?
Say rapist.
Have you seen those kind of casualties? When the petrol bombs were being thrown?
That a supporter of
just because you are treated with kid gloves.
Criminalize the Indian society.
Just because you are treated with kid gloves.
No, Rahul, do you want to say
those
criminals who support a rapist?
The rapist is behind bars for 20 years.
How do we know how many daughters and sisters that
rapist is behind
and you are trying to support a rapist?
Years. I am talking of the rule of the
There are many separatists who have condemned young innocent children to their death. No, 1 minute. No, don't today try to... No, 1 second. Separatists have sent young innocent children to their death by converting them into terrorists, stone pelters. Don't talk rubbish tonight. This is the mindset that has been Eid. That is what you've reduced Eid to. Eid has now become a sideshow for you to make, to spill innocent blood, and that is shocking. And you can't bring yourself...
celebrating Eid. Eid has never been a celebration in Kashmir. Eid has never been a celebration in Kashmir for the last 27 years.
You yourself said that every year at Eid there is killings.
Let's listen in.
Every year in on Eid there are killings.
Local commanders are speaking.
Let's listen celebration.
1 minute. Let's listen in. Local commanders are speaking in. We are going to be getting some sort of an update on this. But I just want to bring it back. We have had now news coming in that there has been a grievous terror attack. 6 policemen have been injured in Srinagar. This was not unanticipated. I want to show you now visuals from earlier in the day, exclusive visuals here on Times Now, which talked about and revealed a systematic military build-up. Paid agents from Pakistan have come into the state, are willing and ready to strike. Listen to the kind of armory and weapons they are carrying. I want us to boost the sound. This is the Jaish-e-Mohammed planning a strike on Eid. They have struck a night before. They will continue to bloodlet tomorrow. Listen in. Look at the venom with which they are today attacking Indian troops. This is an encounter that was filmed this morning. The footage has been accessed by Times Now. Colonel RSN, we had come to you this morning, Colonel RSN, and we had spoken about this. And 1 minute.
Who gave them those weapons?
Pakistan.
Pakistan does.
Pakistan does.
Khattar.
Are you off your mind? Okay, I think this gentleman is today completely. I think we should just remove him from the panel. I think he's completely lost his mind. If he thinks that Khattar is arming Jaish-e-Mohammed, then he doesn't deserve to be on this panel. He's trivializing a tragedy. This man is shocking. 6 policemen today injured, and he's talking about Khattar. I can't believe this individual. Just take him off the panel. I think he needs to. I really think he needs to get a sense of perspective on life, and he needs to get a sense of perspective on his facts. Until he doesn't get that, I don't think we should even invite him. Now, 1 minute. I want to go straight across. Colonel RSN, we have a situation here. A situation that is developing very fast on the ground. This was not unanticipated. In the name of Islam, you have a situation where these individuals are desecrating, insulting the faith.
No, that's really, you correctly pointed out about these killings during Ramzan, and increasingly this is the practice, because I read some sources that there is another discourse in the jihadi world, that if you exact casualties during this period, you are rewarded maybe not 72 hurs, maybe double the hurs. I mean, that is the argument that is being given in certain jihadi quarters. But the main thing here is that, look, I mean, the intelligence was, I mean, I would say that if not pointed, it was quite specific, and we were expecting this kind of a thing. And who are these people? I mean, Jaish-e-Mohammed is led by Maulana Masood Azhar, and this Hydari fellow, I mean, he doesn't know that he's a Punjabi. What are Punjabis doing? Punjabis doing in your beautiful Kashmir Valley. And Mr. Hydari, do you think that the jihadis, before they achieve shahadat, maybe by tomorrow morning, or maybe when they go back to Pakistan, they will not go without raping, mister? I can tell you this much. I know. We have served in the valley and we know everything. They are not going to go back. They are not going to go back or achieve shahadat without having raped their targets. And well, I mean, we all know what kind of a hospitality industry people like you are providing, and that is why, Mr. Khalta Khoon, you have not uttered a word of condemnation. Your blood boils on the issue of beef.
Okay, 1 second.
Your blood boils on the issue of Qurbani, but Mr. Khalta Khoon, your blood does not boil on the shahadat of policemen, your own Kashmiri. ये क्या दिखाता है कि तुम्हारा खून ही गंदा है?
Okay. Colonel Arison, now let's not get carried away. Now, 1 second. Let's not get carried away. Please, let's not get carried away. 1 minute. Let me just bring in Mr. T.A. Rahmani.
No, he's saying...
1 minute. Let's get in Mr. T.A. Rahmani. 1 second. Let's get in Mr. T.A. Rahmani. Mr. T.A. Rahmani, I want to ask you, Dr. Saab, there is a situation today where the holiest of holy festivals is being desecrated by the blood of Muslims themselves. How can anyone in their right minds today suggest that this is okay? Rahmani sir, yes. How can anyone justify this bloodbath, sir, on Eid? How can anyone justify the bloodbath on Eid, sir? Can anyone justify this? Okay, we've suddenly developed an audio problem. I think one of our audio mixers has not lifted up the right audio channel. Let's just do that. 1 minute. I want to come across to you, General G.D. Bakshi. It's a very simple principle which is being followed today by some fringe elements across different countries.
You know, Rahul, we have seen these pattern of attacks that coincide with the Ramzan. We have seen them, go on. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
We have seen them coincide with the Ramzan. We have seen them now happen on the festival of Eid, the holiest of Muslim festivals, and it is a great pity. I mean, it is tragic that on such a holy day, when there is some sanctimony attached to that day, you choose that day to spill Muslim blood. What about the families of those policemen killed? Yes. What would they be going through? One of the iconic images that I saw was just 2 days back when we saw the daughter of a slain police inspector from Jammu and Kashmir. The heart-rending cry of that little girl. How many more little girls do you want to see crying like this? Is this your idea of Eid? Is this the way you would like to celebrate Eid? My God, by killing fellow Muslims. For God's sake, killing fellow Muslims, orphaning their children, widowing those poor wives. What about their Eid? Have you ever thought for a minute to think about what those families would be going through? For God's sake, there is something called humanity. There is something called insaniyat. There is something called, ek bhi masoom ka qatl, puri insaniyat ka qatl hai.
Well,
that is what the Holy Quran says.
I can tell you, sir, the day insaniyat was butchered in Kashmir was the turn of 1990, when Kashmiri Hindus were butchered there, and there has been no atonement. That is the day. We're going to now, I'm just going to ask Dr. Rahmani. Dr. Rahmani, this is condemnable. The individuals who have died are almost certainly Muslim.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. Please, your views, sir, before I wrap this up. Please.
Okay. Yeah, Rahul, I just wanted to say that today's debate was about the sacrification of God and all those things, but you have converted this topic to the Kashmir issue, and you know that we keep on discussing this issue after each and every such unfortunate incident, and we could have discussed it separately today. But if you are clubbing this Bakra Eid issue and the sacrification of animal issue with this issue, I feel it is highly mischievous.
But we are moving on.
It is highly mischievous if you are clubbing these two issues. These two are very serious, but separate issues.
But Dr. Rahmani, who's clubbing them? This is,
and I do condemn it. I do condemn every attack, every killing,
rational, moderate voices.
But that doesn't mean that you will club this issue.
But we are not clubbing. We are not clubbing, sir. Who's given you the impression that we are clubbing? This is a breaking news development. There's a terror attack which has happened minutes ago. So we had moved on.
For last 20 minutes, you are issuing.
No, you're under some wrong impression, sir. We were only talking about the desecration of the festival of Eid.
Magnitude.
Of human blood. So please, let's not compare these two issues and don't mischievously draw parallels. I'm leaving it at this. I'm leaving it there. More on this story on the news are at 10.
In the month of Ramadan, that must do a ceasefire.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Navika Kumar joins us because there has been another big development in yet another important story. Navika, over to you.